from WBNE.
Howdy, yokes, and welcome back to Bacon and Eggs. I'm Tyler Carlin.
And I'm Ethan Edgehill.
And today is Monday.
And this is Bacon and Eggs.
So make peace with your best friend's sister.
And topple the Kingpin.
Because today we're bringing you
Hawkeye.
I'm gonna get out of bed and start my day. Cook up a breakfast of bacon and eggs. I won't check my phone till after my coffee.
talking about
And then I'll
Hawkeye
go for a
episode
jog
6. So this is Christmas, directed by Bert and Bertie. Came out 6 days ago, so there's going to be some recency bias from us, and I think it's got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. I honestly didn't check, but the rest of them do, so I'm going to guess this one does as well. Ethan, the show...
Tyler, is that a new shirt?
It is. Check it out. Patches.
Listeners.
Crazy.
Listeners, imagine a cool... Gotta stop making myself laugh at this joke. I'm doing it backwards.
Everybody's like, what is he doing? Why
What
does he
is
think
he
this is so
talking
funny? Ethan, we finished Hawkeye. Kate Bishop, Yelena Romanov,
Belova.
Yelena Belova, Hawkeye, Kingpin.
Like what? This is crazy.
It's crazy.
Crazy.
What did you think of the finale? I saw you tweet out that the Hawkeye season finale could be your favorite Christmas movie.
I think I said the whole Hawkeye show can be your favorite Christmas movie.
Tell me more. Are you valid? Tell me more about that. No cap?
Some cap, probably. It's not a movie, for starters.
No, it's not a movie. It is good. It's very good. I really liked this ending.
Yeah, I think that this this ended the best of any of the Marvel shows so far.
Oh, Loki broke the universe.
That's fair, yeah. But it's not an ending, right? It's like it felt unsatisfactory because they're like, oh, Loki will return in Loki Part 2.
Loki season 2.
Yeah, season 2. But like the end of WandaVision was kind of a mess, and the end of Falcon and the Winter Soldier was kind of a mess.
I don't remember how Falcon and the Winter Soldier ended. If I'm being
John
honest
Walker
with
got
you.
away with it, like the whole thing was just like forgiven completely.
That's like the point, though, right? Is that like the justice system is
Right,
forked.
but like it was very frustrating. And the episode was kind of weird, but like I've loved this whole show, like probably 100% more than I thought I was going. Maybe 500% more than I thought I was going to.
I'm so glad. I liked all the trick arrows and all the fun stuff. That
Right, it never stopped being fun.
Yeah.
There was a real like Guardians of the Galaxy vibe to this one.
The LARPers kept showing up.
Yeah, and
I
we're
kept
like
thinking
super
that was gonna
important
be like
to the
a
plot.
one and done. Yeah.
It was very well written. And
Yeah.
the whole Yelena and Kate Bishop scene where they're in the elevator with each other, hilarious.
Oh, the whole thing where like Yelena and Kate Bishop get along really well, but
Yeah,
like,
they're like besties, but Yelena hates Clint.
yeah. Although by the end, I guess she doesn't, right? She's like, nobody, you should have tried harder. You should have saved my sister. Was there any part of you that was like, this show's about to get real dark real
Yeah.
fast, and
Yeah.
Yelena's going to kill him?
Yeah, I definitely thought he was going to die.
Yeah, I did too. I was like, dang, okay, we did. Because I also felt like Jeremy Renner's been calling this whole show in, where he's been like, do I have to be in it? I
don't think that at all.
No?
No, I thought he was great the whole time. When he goes, Kate, you're my partner.
Oh, yeah, that guy.
I was like, oh, my heart.
So did you just like a few minutes ago, you were like, I watched this a week ago, and then just now you're talking about stuff. Do you know, so in the episode
I wasn't sure if I was going to remember or not, honestly.
In the episode we recorded just before this, I mentioned a throwaway line, but I didn't tell you what the throwaway line was. Do you know what that throwaway line was?
No.
If I tell you Kingpin said it.
That's crazy.
That's crazy. If I tell you Kingpin said it, does that make it easier?
Maybe? I don't know. What was the line?
He says, it's not even a throwaway line. He says something to the effect of, it's not just some job at Goldman Sachs.
Right. Yeah.
so
she can't just
good.
quit like she works for Goldman Sachs.
Yes. I loved everything Kingpin said. I loved how like literal comic book the whole character was. Like,
yeah, absolutely.
everything he said was like so much larger than life, and he's wearing the Hawaiian shirt the whole time.
Yeah, and
his office is decorated for the holiday.
exactly. Just like totally into it. And Jack being a good guy. I love just being like a decent stepdad.
Jack Duquesne showing up with the sword and being like, hey!
And Kate being like, I'm so sorry that I, had my mom frame you for murder or whatever. Or had my mom arrest you. And he was like, it's no problem. I'm here to help.
It is no problem. I'm Jack
problem.
Duquesne.
Yeah,
I did think he was going to be a red herring. I thought that was going to be... I don't know if I called that. We'd have to go back and listen to the tapes, which I'm not going to do. But I think I called that.
Oh, well, just like everybody knew that. Like,
oh, just everybody already knew that? Jack Duquesne, red herring?
well, I said that I called something last week, and you're like, yeah, but everybody knew that. So I'm just giving it back to you. Yeah, no, this episode is fantastic. This whole show has been fantastic. I thoroughly enjoyed this one.
And it's so much lower stakes than the rest of them.
Right, yeah.
Holy
like,
crap. You can just
there was
watch
no
it.
Avengers level event here, right? Like,
No, but there was at the same time. Like, I think I'm looking forward to Haley Steinfeld stepping into an Avengers level event. Do you know what I mean?
yeah.
Like, she's a good enough actress that, like, she'll get into that situation and be like, oh, the biggest thing I dealt with was we knocked over the tree at the 30 Rock.
Yeah, which was cool.
You know?
Like,
Yeah, we dealt with some tracksuit mafia. And Sylvie's going to be like, what are you talking about?
yeah.
I ended the world.
I hit the world. Yeah, Carol Danvers out here like, listen, kid. And Clint's gonna show up and be like, it's fine. She's my partner. And they'll be like, this
cool.
guy.
She's cool.
He shows up with his wife and is like, here, I got a one-eyed dog and like an absurdly attractive 23-year-old.
Hope that's cool.
And she's like, yeah, I mean, okay. Did you get my watch though?
I did.
Did you get my Shield Rolex?
Jinkies. Sure did.
Jinkies. Yeah. By the way, I'm also a Shield operative. Fun fact.
Who, Linda Cardellini?
Yeah, Laura Barton.
Yeah. Has she always played that character? Do we have this conversation every week?
What do you mean?
Was she that character in like Age of Ultron?
Was Linda Cardellini that character? Cardellini that character?
Yeah.
I don't think the wife was introduced until. No, I guess they did go back to in Age of Ultron or maybe Civil War.
That's Age of Ultron.
No, it was Winter Soldier, wasn't it?
No, it's Age of Ultron.
It's Age of Ultron?
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like it's Age of Ultron. I don't know. Maybe. I have no idea. She's the Mockingbird.
Does everybody know that? Everybody's already caught up on that one?
I mean, it was a pretty perfunctory Google.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
Who's Laura Barton?
Yeah. Well, I don't think Laura Barton is usually the Mockingbird.
I think Jennifer Lawrence in the MCU as the Mockingjay.
The problem is she exists as Katniss Everdeen.
Yeah, Katniss
Like
already exists.
in Avengers in MCU canon, the actress Jennifer Lawrence played Katniss Everdeen in a Lionsgate movie.
Yes. I do think, like, maybe it could be that, the book exists. Because, what's the other book that exists? Fault in Our Stars exists.
Yeah. As does The Hobbit, as does Star Wars.
You think Shailene Woodley's getting out of the MCU?
I don't think anybody in the MCU is going to want to work with Shailene Woodley.
Is she not fun to work with?
No.
Is she like, hey, don't make me call Aaron Rodgers on you.
I think she's an anti-vaxxer.
Don't make me discount double check your ass.
She's kind of a dick, and she like got the Divergent movies canceled.
You know who she reminds me of?
Who?
Sadie Robertson.
From Duck Dynasty?
Yeah, the one that went to Liberty.
I mean, I have not thought about that family with the exception of the TikTok sounds, I've not thought about that family since we lived in JR.
You remember when we lived in JR? Life was simpler then when I could be a Duck Dynasty fan.
Yeah, when I could I could order a Chanella's pizza and watch Duck Dynasty in my dorm room by myself when I was sick.
And that meant nothing.
Right, it was just like, I was watching Cy Robertson eat donuts.
Right.
There was no political views attached to it. It was just two idiots eating donuts. I could eat about a dozen hot donuts.
Sigh.
Yeah. What are you doing? And the rattlesnake stuck and plunged head out the hole. Did you get it? No.
That show was so good back in the early days. It really was. Bacon and Eggs Duck Dynasty.
No, we can't do that.
I know we can't.
They're all racist.
They're all racist. It had to be ruined.
I mean, and we all knew it, right? Like that was one of the ones where even when I was watching it, I was like, one day this is going to have aged poorly.
Yeah. Yeah. That was one where I remember watching it and being like, it's the same with Kardashians, where you watch it and you're like, this is exceptional editing. This is
yeah.
Somebody has really.
You're watching
put
Jersey
together
Shore, like one day these people are going to all be in jail.
Yes. And it should be now, honestly.
People that should not be in jail include Florence Pugh and Haley Steinfeld for their portrayals of two lovely, badass women in history.
Do you think? Picture this:
a cool shirt,
a cool shirt,
just like a really cool shirt.
It's got a king, like a crown logo. Imagine this: you are Greta Gerwig.
Am I?
Circa 2016.
Man, I am really mad about not getting my Oscar for Lady Bird.
Yeah, but you're like,
or for Little Women.
I did Lady Bird. It's 2016, right? Little Women hasn't happened yet. And you're like, you know what? Lady Bird didn't get my Oscar. I'm gonna make a movie adaptation of Little Women. That people do that all the time. It's usually Oscar worthy, and you get everything lined up, and then all of a sudden somebody calls you and says, "Hey, you can't have the Pitch Perfect girl. You have to have the Harry Potter girl instead."
Like Anna Kendrick instead of Emma Watson?
No, Haley Steinfeld.
Haley Steinfeld was in Pitch Perfect?
Yeah, she's in 2 and 3. She's the freshman.
Okay, Tyler, I don't want to dispute your logic here, right? But like, if you tell me the Pitch Perfect girl,
You're talking about Anna Kendrick.
You're talking in order about Anna Kendrick, and then Rebel Wilson, and then literally any other human being.
Well, Haley Steinfeld is in 2 of them, and it's a pretty big part in the second one. Because she shows up and she's like, yeah, I'm Haley Steinfeld. I'm super awkward and awesome. Okay, fine. You're Greta Gerwig, and you're like, we got the girl from Edge of 17. She's going to be great. She was Oscar nominated. And you get a call from A24, and they're like, we got one of the Potter people. We got one of the Potter people. There goes your Oscar.
There goes your Oscar. Yeah, your least important March sister is going to be played by the Potter girl.
Yeah.
She's not the one that dies, or the main character, or the cool one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But she's Emma Watson.
But she is Emma Watson. So
who else have we got for this? Okay, so we got the girl from Lady Bird. Cool. We've also got somebody I've never heard of, and Zach Braff's girlfriend. This movie's going to be a train wreck.
I don't think she was Zach Braff's girlfriend at the time. I think she was the girl from Midsummer, or was that afterwards?
As the same year.
Same year? Okay.
Yeah, she was nominated for both in the same year.
We love
I lost my mother and father. Same year. 12 brothers and sisters.
You had 12 brothers and sisters?
8.
Yeah, 12 sounds better.
Listen,
really
flow money, flow
this.
problems. I love Florence Pugh. She's great.
I love Florence Pugh. I love Vinny Vici in this episode gets really mad. Kazi, he like goes off the dang rails.
Yeah, and then he gets iced.
But he caught a bullet. He caught an arrow.
Yeah, it was cool. It's a cool moment. And then he dies because he's a piece of shit.
I do think this is one of my least favorite weaknesses of archers in superhero comics is when the bad guys can catch the arrows. It's like, okay, That was his thing. That was his whole thing, was that he had arrows. And now it's over.
Dodge this.
Dodge this. Boom. They were all about the Desert Eagle in that movie.
Yeah. Because it was a big, imposing handgun. Anyway, we're not talking about the Matrix here. We're talking about Hawkeye, a guy who does not use guns.
No. I liked Kazi. I did feel like we had a lot of character development that maybe happened off screen, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention when it comes to Maya. Or all of a sudden I was like, you got new makeup, looking good, queen. Are you mad? And I don't know, maybe you're not mad. Maybe you're not mad anymore.
No, yeah, you missed that. Not the makeup part, but just the...
I know that at one point Kingpin comes around and he's like, we're family, Maya. Also, Maya shoots Kingpin, and now I'm supposed to think Kingpin's dead after he took, like, all sorts of stuff.
At no point do I think that they revived that character for one episode of one TV show.
To kill him off again.
To kill him off again. Yeah. No shot.
I think it's like one of the first examples of a repeat villain, isn't it?
Yeah. Except Loki.
Except Loki, but this is like so much smaller scale. I don't know.
But like
I love Kingpin.
they put Matt Murdock in Spider-Man.
Yeah.
And then revived his number one villain.
Yeah.
Like,
Kingpin's also a Spider-Man
under
villain.
no circumstances is Kingpin dead. No shot.
No, Kingpin is such a cool villain.
At the beginning of like whatever show is being set up by Elaine from Seinfeld.
I don't know.
You know, whatever that is called, whatever show that is going to be, or movie or whatever. You get a call, it's like, she'll get a call. It's like, hello, Elaine from Seinfeld. A thing that canonically exists in this universe. It is I, Wilson Fisk. The person who's paying you to set up the anti-Avengers.
And it's not always about the money.
We're going to go kill Matt Murdock. With the whole anti-Avengers comes down on top of Matt Murdock.
Comes down on a blind guy.
Yeah.
There is a Catholic man in Hell's Kitchen.
Yeah. And Yelena's just like, whoa, this is not cool. I will not kill this man. I halfway expect when they're in there.
Hold on. If you are Oscar nominated Scarlett Johansson, I think maybe, and Marvel's like, hey, we're gonna screw you out of your deal on your movie. Oh, and by the way, we replaced you with 2-time Oscar nominated Florence Pugh. Is that cool?
Scarlett Johansson, I believe, was nominated the same year.
She's nominated for
Marriage Story and maybe potentially also Jojo Rabbit.
Oh, she's so good in Jojo Rabbit. She's also, I think she got some sort of credit. I don't know if it was Oscar, but there was something about her in Her.
She was the voice.
I know she was the voice. But there's like, I think there was like a supporting credit or something.
List of awards and nominations received by Scarlett Johansson.
Do you think like you're sitting there like,
yeah,
oh,
her
Marvel
only 2 nominations were that year for Marriage Story for Best Actress and Best Supporting Actress for Jojo Rabbit, which is, I believe, the same year. Yeah, that Florence Pugh was nominated for Little Women and Midsummer.
No, she only has 1 nomination for an Oscar.
Florence Pugh?
Yeah.
I thought she got nominated for both of those.
No, just for Little Women. And she didn't win.
Yeah, she lost to Laura Dern for Marriage Story.
Laura Dern. Laura Dern is not in the MCU, is she?
Man.
Is Sigourney Weaver?
I don't think you can get Sigourney Weaver in the MCU.
Why?
Because she's in too much sci-fi.
I don't think so.
Somebody would be like, you're Sigourney Weaver. And she'd be like, I'm not. And they'd be like, yes, you are. I've seen Alien and Avatar and Finding Dory. You're Sigourney Weaver. What are you talking about?
And Ghostbusters.
Let's see. Laura Dern. Just going through the list here, making sure there's nothing I missed.
I don't think she is.
I don't think she is. She's
She's in
not.
Star Wars, and she's in Jurassic World.
Yeah. Oh, she's in Star Wars. Yeah, that's the problem.
Oscar Isaac's in both.
Oscar Isaac's in the MCU?
He's going to be Moon Knight.
All right. This is not the person I remember ever.
And he's the only, like, John Boyega would be so good in the MCU, but I don't think he's going to return to big franchises anytime soon.
No.
I heard he had a bad experience there in Star Wars.
Sigourney Weaver, also not in the MCU.
We found people that aren't in it. I think this is exciting.
You know who's not in it? The Potter Girl.
The Potter Girl. She's not in the MCU.
I'm sure Emma Watson would love us referring to her this way.
I mean,
Saoirse Ronan, not in the MCU.
Saoirse Ronan, not in the MCU. Let me tell you about the Potter Girl.
Bob Odenkirk, not in the MCU. Timothy Chalamet, not in the MCU. Chris Cooper, not in the MCU. I think, probably. The whole cast. Not the whole cast. Nobody except for Florence Pugh that was in Little Women has also been in the MCU, as far as I know. I might be wrong about Bob Odenkirk.
He's not in it. The person, they did cast somebody in Ant-Man and the Wasp that, like, you know, that they were like, I want Bob Odenkirk. And he was like, I can't. I better call Saul.
I mean, Saul Goodman could just be a character in the MCU.
Yeah.
He shows up in Daredevil, the new Daredevil series, as Matt Murdock's like competitor.
Matt Murdock from Hell's Kitchen is competing with New Mexico criminal lawyers.
No, he had to leave New Mexico.
Is that what happens in Better Call Saul?
No, it's what happens in Breaking Bad.
Oh, is it? I don't know. I don't remember. Breaking Bad was so many years ago.
Yeah, he runs like a Dunkin' Donuts somewhere.
Huh. Well, the more you know. Baskin Robbins? Baskin Robbins always finds out.
Maybe it is Baskin Robbins.
That's where Paul Rudd or Ant-Man, Scott Lang, ends up. All right. The show is over. What comes next?
The Book of Boba Fett.
Book of Boba Fett. And I think...
Comes out tomorrow.
I think we might do this HBO Max special.
What HBO Max special?
The 20 years of Potter thing.
Oh. Like as a main series episode?
Maybe. I don't know. I've been on a little bit of a Potter kick lately.
It kind of pisses me off every time you get on a Harry Potter kick, because every time you're not on a Harry Potter kick, you get so like, man, I don't know about this whole thing, man. Harry Potter's stupid and people shouldn't really. Nah. And then something sparks your interest and you're like, I love Harry Potter again.
I think it comes in waves, right? And I just feel so bad. But also at the same time, I own it. There are other authors who are worse people, and I read their work, and I'm just trying to...
It's a really winning sentence you had there.
Somebody made the comparison recently that like Ernest Cline was a bad author, and they would love to read Ready Player One if it was written by Pat Rothfuss or Scott Lynch. And I was like, all three of those are terrible white men.
Yeah.
Like... None of those are who I want to read this concept by. They're all great writers and I enjoy their books, but they're not like excellent people.
I bet Ernest Cline is no fun at parties.
I bet Ernest Cline doesn't do well at parties.
I bet he's like, I know everything about the
parties.
1980s and I also have no hope for civilization.
Yeah. All that bullshit about God, we made it up.
We made it up. And you will know my views if you read the first 8 pages of my debut novel.
Yep. All right, Ian, I got no other eggs to crack here.
You know what the weird thing? Here's the weird thing about Ernest Cline, right?
Yeah.
He wrote Ready Player One, which was a great book.
Yeah.
And then he wrote Armada, which
is a
gets
bad
like a 10 out of 10 for premise and like a 0 out of 10 for execution and like a negative 75 out of 10 for ending. And then he just like disappeared off the face of the earth. And then he was like, you know what? It's time for me to write a Ready Player 2. And we were all like, no, Ernest, don't do it. That movie was so bad they just made it for your book, man. Just let it die. And then Ready Player 2 was really good.
Was it?
Yes, Tyler.
Was it, Ethan?
I don't know how you have this view.
I read it like right when it came out or whenever, not right when it came out because I think I waited a little bit. But I read it and I honestly don't remember Ready Player 2 at all.
Dude, it's so good.
Maybe I'll revisit, but I'm not, I feel like I'm not allowed to revisit anything for another 3 days.
That's true. You're not.
And then I don't know if that'll be at the top of my list. Maybe it will.
I think the top of my list as far as audiobooks goes is Name of the Wind.
Because people at your work talk about it all day, every day.
Well, yeah, just like I've been wanting to reread it since like January. What is my what am I at? Goodreads is going to pick this moment not to work.
I don't think it's just this moment. It never works, see?
I am currently at 186 completed novels.
That's pretty freaking good.
Yeah, and I've got hold on. I don't think I logged one. No, I did. Never mind. We're good. I've got another one almost done. So, see if I can get to 190 and then just leave it. Leaves 5% room for improvement in the future.
You think you're going to do 200 in a year?
No, but realistically, probably not.
I don't think you're ever going to have a year with this much free time again.
No, definitely not.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Yeah, my goal for next year is 100.
It's my goal. I'd like to do 100. I didn't
Yeah.
get 100 this year.
You got pretty close.
I did. Closer than I expected.
Yeah.
And honestly, when I came into a situation where I was like needing to find a job, I think I very easily could have been like, I'm going to get to 100 books. That'll be freaking easy.
Yeah.
And I think if I did that, I don't think I'd be working right now.
And that being said, like there are books that I basically didn't read on that list. There are books I remember almost nothing about. There are books that I finished even though I didn't like.
Yeah.
So like I don't want to do that again.
I don't blame you.
But
you have to, Ethan. You're required.
No, I don't.
I can make you do this.
I mean, falling 10 short does really kind of suck.
So, Ethan, get off the call and read some freaking books.
There's no way I can finish 14 books, 13 and a half books
You working?
in 3 days.
Are you working this week or you got the week off?
I do have the week off, but that's a lot of books, man.
Well, there's a lot of books, man.
Okay.
There's 16 Diary of a Wimpy Kid books. Did you know that?
I did not. I bet if I just started ripping through Series of Unfortunate Event books, I'd get there.
But you got to worry about your rereads then. I guarantee you haven't read a single Diary of a Wimpy Kid book.
I haven't, but I have no interest in reading any Diary of a Wimpy Kid books either.
You will become very familiar with what middle school feels like if you read 16 of those puppies in a week.
16 of those in 3 days. Maybe I will just blast through the series of Unfortunate Events books in the next 3 days and see how close I can get.
I recommend it. I highly recommend it. Because then you might lose because of your rereads.
No, I wouldn't.
I'll still win. The champion.
There's simply there's no way that if I hit 200, I'm going to accept losing in any facet. Right? Like,
somebody on TikTok the other day was like, I read 230 books in a year. And I was like, I think you do too much. I think you read too many.
I think you read too much. You know what? We're 3 days left in the year, and I still didn't read The Book Thief.
You could read that. I bet that wouldn't take you long at all.
It's 600 pages.
Is it really?
Yeah.
Oh, well, that would probably take you most of the 3 days, though.
Yeah. Those are really what I thought was my two options, was just find something short to absolutely blow through or read The Book Thief.
People say it's good, so...
People do say it's good. They do say that about The Book Thief. Anyway, that's all I got to say about Hawkeye.
Same. I hope you enjoyed this series. We didn't talk about Hawkeye that much this time around. I feel like usually we do a good job of talking about the show. This time I don't think we did.
Well, we'll be back at some point for the Book of Boba Fett.
Boba Fett, yeah.
Bye.
Bye.